Hello, guys. Welcome again to this series of videos in the topic of awakening, spiritual awakening. So, I wanted to mention a few things in this particular video. Uh, Essentially, how or what did I notice that I was awake? In, in a way, it was the opposite of knowing that I was awake. Suddenly, I noticed that before a specific moment in my life, I was asleep, if that makes any sense. So it didn't come as a realization that, oh, I'm feeling in a certain way, in particular, the notion that I'm awake. It was more like suddenly all my life and all my mistakes became clear and very patent to me, and I noticed very bluntly that I was basically a jerk, a very inconsiderate person, and I was doing tons and tons of mistakes, even areas of my life where I was kind of feeling proud of myself, that I was in such way a very virtuous person, very good person. I was kind, respectful, faithful, all kinds of good virtues. They certainly weren't there. So this notion, this sudden certainty that all my previous actions in my life were somehow shown in a new light, in a spotlight to be precise, and I was noticing every single detail of my life with very full clarity, and I was no longer deluding myself or fooling myself that I was something that I'm not. So it's like going into the basement all your life just to pick something up from there, and you're just helping yourself along the way with a candlestick, and suddenly someone gives you a spotlight, and once you go there to the basement, you realize all the nonsense, all the filth, all the stupid things that are lying there in the basement. Being in the basement, your own psychology, and in this case, my own psychology, my life, is very revealing, is in a way humbling. And this came not all of a sudden, it came along a series of days where I was kind of discovering my own life by being able to see it all from a new perspective, from the perspective of what I call uh, an awakened consciousness or a full consciousness. And also came with some series of side effects. I don't know if they are part of this or it was a side effect of other things that I was doing at the time. But right now, I'm all the time, 100% of the time, without an inner dialogue, like this, what we call this inner chat, that we are constantly chatting with ourselves, to ourselves, or right now I actually know that it's, as a fact, it's no longer a theory because I studied esoteric teachings for a long time, so I knew from an intellectual point of view that there is more than one ego inside of us, but now it is a reality. I was able to see that before this moment where I no longer have this inner chat, this inner dialogue, I was able to see that inside of me there is plenty of other me's, plenty of other versions of myself, each with their own desires, with their own reasons to exist, their own frustrations usually. And many of these parts of myself are the consequence of trauma, the consequence of fear, the consequence of many negative emotions, so thoughts, emotions. I suddenly became completely and fully in control of my emotions, my thoughts. All my feelings and emotions became patent to me. It was evident to me that they were not me. It was evident to me that all my thoughts were not me. So I was a different thing, if you want to call it a thing. That is actually the only part of me that is not really a thing, but is the actual person, is the I am, is the consciousness, the real me in a way. So this is how it happened, and yes, once in a while I see the initiative, the impulse to start a dialogue, and I see these persons, these egos inside of me that they want to say something. Is usually as a reaction to some specific events in life, something that happened. So they usually come as that, as an event, and then a reaction is either a thought and then a feeling, or an emotion, then a thought, then a feeling. There is all kinds of chains that lead to the inner dialogue. And this has become over time more easy to distinguish that is really not me who is doing all this chatter. And what I can do is usually I don't indulge in the chat, I don't indulge in the dialogue. I see it for what it is. I see that it's really not me who is talking. And I can see it with more curiosity than any other things. I am by no means perfect. I didn't suddenly become enlightened. I am convinced that awakening doesn't just happen all of a sudden and you are 100% awake, you are 100% enlightened. Based on my life experiences after this awakening moment that took place in January 2023, I have noticed that actually you awake by phases or by layers, you can say. And every day, if you continue to work, you can awake more and more. And it's even possible that you can regress back to previous states and go back to sleep again. So my life's purpose now is not regressing, not going back. And I hope you will feel motivated to work on yourself. As I mentioned before, based on my experience, even though I still make mistakes, I'm still not fully awake, and I can fully appreciate how life is 100 million times better when you're awake than when you are sleeping completely. So that's all for now. Let me know if you have any questions and comments, and I hope to see you the next time.